Hello booktube, hello book friends, welcome back to my channel and a look ahead for August in terms of what my reading plans are. That said, I haven't really got very many plans. After quite a hectic July with PI July, I thought I would kind of take it easy for August and have a bit of some mood reading. That said, there are a few things on my kind of calendar. It's Garb August for a start. I've got a buddy read, and I have got a reading plans that I've had for a while that I was sort of planning for the month of August and September. So there's a few things to talk about, but not much more than that. So let's talk about buddy reads first. So buddy read, following the it was the Untouched Books tag, and Debs at Rainer Reads Stuff had Umberto Eco's The Prague Cemetery on her as one of her 10, and I said, "Oh, I'd be interested in reading that with you." And I think so did Gavin at Genre Books. So it looks like we are doing a buddy read of The Prague Cemetery by Umberto Eco in August. I'm not quite sure when in August. We need to get that kind of sorted out, but that's certainly the plan, to read this at some point during August. So yeah, that's my buddy read plans for the month at least. And then kind of slightly longer term plans are, I mentioned, did I mention this in the Untouched? No, this was in my books I want to read before the end of the year. So if you want to have a look at that video, but it was Les Misérables by Victor Hugo. I think this was a group read by quite a few booktubers last year, I want to say. I wasn't a part of that, but I have wanted to read this for some time. I have, as you can probably see, made a start. I'm just over 100 pages in, so not a lot has happened. Have met the character of Jean Valjean, who is, I think, a fairly major character in the story, but he's only been kind of introduced so far. But yeah, I'm I'm enjoying it. I think it's just it's a bit of a daunting book, isn't it? So it's like 1194 pages plus notes in this edition. So I did work out a kind of reading plan, which basically I need to read so many pages every couple of days or so to get me through the whole book by the end of September. So I'm trying to spread this over 2 months, because I think we'll see how I get on. I might read the whole thing in August. I doubt it, but we'll see. So yeah, so that's Les Miserables. And then Garb August, I don't know really. I've got a few ideas, nothing kind of set in stone. So I quite like maybe to read the novelisation of the original Battlestar Galactica. So back in was it the 70s or the 80s? I can't remember. Certainly remember watching it on telly in the 80s, I think, but I think it was out before then. Also, perhaps the novelisation of the TV series V, which again I think was around the same time, maybe a bit later. What did it say in here? There's something in the book. Oh, that's interesting. It's somebody's, looks like somebody's time sheet for, doesn't have a date on it. It might not actually be. It's a blank one, I think. So yeah, we're obviously using it as a bookmark. Didn't know that was in there. And then so this is 1984. And when's this? 1978. Yeah, so late 70s. So it's fairly similar time. And also, I fancy reading the novelisation of Escape to Athena, which when you look at the Nazi soldiers in the background, look like something out of Star Wars or something like that. But anyway, this is I think a book you would say is got an all-star cast. So it's Roger Moore, David Niven, Telly Savalas, Stephanie Powers, Richard Roundtree, Elliot Gould, loads of. It had a Lalo Schifrin soundtrack. I think it's pretty much. I think it's kind of gets shown at Christmas and times like that. I think sort of pops up in the middle of an afternoon during the week between Christmas and New Year. This is 1979. So yeah, a few kind of novelizations. And if I don't get to them in August, I'll get to them in November, in novelisation November. And then I've got a couple of potential rereads. So I've shown this fairly recently, A Natural History of Empty Lots by Christopher Brown. I've read this year, and I want to reread it again because I've been reading his newsletter on, I think it's on Substack, but it comes by email anyway. His email newsletter, and I'm really intrigued by just some of what he's been writing about. So this is all about kind of the interface between nature and man, and in particular, this is in Texas. Where in Texas? Not Houston. Can't remember. Does it say? Austin. There you go. Austin, Texas. And he kind of lives in that area. So effectively living in a residence that is in a what would be classed as an urban commercial kind of space area. So yeah, so looking forward to maybe rereading that, and then also maybe rereading an Inspector Morse, The Silent World of Nicholas Quinn. I've been rereading these. I don't think I've read any this year, so really slow time. Just rereading the series, and this is kind of where I've got to. So I want to reread that as well. Maybe this month, maybe not. As I say, after PI July, I'm kind of a bit more going to be a bit more relaxed and flexible what I'm reading this month. So we'll see where we get to. Probably more audiobooks as well. I'm still listening to, what's it called, The Stranger Diaries by Ellie Griffiths as a library loan on audio. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But those are my tentative, speculative plans for August anyway. If you have been, thank you for watching, and I will speak to you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.